culturally relevant topics that we all have questions about, but nobody feels comfortable enough to talk about it. So today, so I want to talk about the devil today. How about that? Did the devil make them do it? There are so many things going on the planet right now. People are just, it seems like they're losing their minds. They are taking everything personally. They are feeling deeply unsafe, deeply unprotected. They are feeling like the world is against them. And I want to talk about why that is. Some people, the world is against them. I mean, we have, ancestrally, we can see in the lineage that the world has been against certain people. But the truth is, at some point in our spiritual development, each of us we will have to go through a process of transforming our own sense of victimization. When we feel victimized, when we are sensitized to the realities of the world, and that's really what it is. When we feel victimized, what is happening for us is we are beginning to become sensitized to everything in the world, and we're becoming empathetic of other people and their experiences, sometimes without the ability to love them or have compassion for them. And that's what makes it so difficult, because we feel the pain, we feel the hurt. That hurt makes us feel threatened, and we haven't found a way to feel empowered enough to love other people unconditionally. And so that leads us to this idea of, did the devil make them do it? I know most of you, well, some of you know me, some of you don't. If you don't know me, I'm known as a demon slayer. It's been my realm of, as a child, I was deeply afflicted by entities that are absolutely what we recognize today as demonic energies. Those things exist. They may not exist for everyone, but the energy exists in some way for everyone. Whether or not you see them in living color, as some of us, like I do, even if you don't, you are dealing with the energy of lust, gluttony, right? You're dealing with the nature of these spiritual energies that they have volume, they have a presence, even though you can't necessarily recognize it. They have an influence, and they are emotionally based, meaning their emotion. They are what we would call the energy of emotion, and each of them have a different vibration. And we attract them to us based on what we're feeling, and based on the imprints that our spirit came in with. Our soul came into the body with a certain viewpoint about what life is, how it works, what you as a person should do with it. And it is from those imprints, those lenses, if you will, that we look at life, and we begin to embrace certain things and exclude certain things from our experience. It is those original lenses that make us feel safe or let us know that we are unsafe. So when we look at the world, and one of the phenomena, the reason why I wanted to talk to you about this today is the phenomena that's happening is that people have come in with certain imprints to karmically, and when I say karmically, I mean the patterns that their soul has expressed over time and space, over thousands of years, has incarnated in this life, in this body, to overcome certain vibrational patterns. So let's say you were a person that lived and experienced the Holocaust. There are people on either side of it, right? There are the Nazis, and then there are the people who fought against them. There are the people that died within the Holocaust. Yeah, within that event. Is what I mean, because it's many people died for many reasons in that event, and the Holocaust is the event. And so people are coming back. There's been a lot of retrospect on how did we allow, as human beings, how did we allow something like the Holocaust to happen? And one of the main ideas that people have come up with is that there were little signs all along the way for 15 to 20 years prior. Things that Hitler was doing, things he was saying, ways he was thinking. And it just so happened that it all moved with a mass global movement of shift. And he woke up in certain people certain energies, which made them willing to work for him, work on his behalf, to kill other people, to reduce other people, to create chaos, to murder. And that's one of the things that we're really seeing today, is that people are waking up. It's like a certain cocktail of events happen in their life, and all of a sudden, boom, they wake up with this imprint or this belief to connect with certain ideas that people are putting out in the world. And when they do that, they do something. They wake up to this idea that their spirit tells them they must reconcile, and they do not know how to differentiate between karmically and spiritually reconciling a dynamic and committing it again. Hopefully, those who have murdered in any lifetime will come back and learn why they needed to take a life. Was it, was it necessary? I mean, ultimately, the ultimate spiritual understanding is that there is no reason under any circumstances that one should have to take a life. The truth is, we create the environment, the energetic environment around us. And if we choose not to die, we're not going to die. This is Gizmo. Gizmo chooses to grace. Look at the camera, booby. Oh, look at that. Hi. He's like, they need some comfort to talk about this topic because it's ugly. So I wanted to talk about chaos makers. And I wrote something in my book. As you know, I always try to read a little something from Conquer Your Karmic Relationships, Heal Spiritual Trauma to Open Your Heart, Restore Your Soul. And I try to do that because this book it's a manual for how you can walk through life right now on the planet, not only survive, but thrive. How you can take authority over yourself and any situation that you're in with your understanding of how the universe works and your belief and confidence in yourself. So I know those are high ideals, but I believe in you. Okay, so the thing that I want to read to you today is called The Art. No, it's not that. What are the lessons of a disruptor? What is a disruptor? So when we talk about demonic energies or entities that are chaos makers, it really is the vibration of that chaos, and it connects to somebody's anger or their grief or their frustration or their belief in superiority or inferiority or their fear of loss or their paranoia. It locks on to whatever is the lowest vibration that they have, and it amplifies it tenfold or 20-fold, so much so that it can influence people enough to be unaware of the impact of the choices that they make. Isn't that deep? We always have choice about what it is that we do. If we're going to take a life, if we are going to say things that are going to be hurtful. Whatever it is that we're going to do, we know about it. When you bring in the mix of these other spiritual entities, or the influence of a collective idea, we've seen that a lot. Where you see people at a concert or at a bar, and all of a sudden there's a whole brawl. One person is fighting, and then all of a sudden 50 people are fighting. There is a specific thing to the energy of a collective group, and how that energy influences other people to bring them into the fold of the flow of that dynamic, whether it's positive or negative. And so that's what I'm talking about here. There are energies out there that their whole purpose is to create chaos. And if they catch you at a bad time, I picked the wrong day to quit smoking. That was one of my favorite favorite lines from Airplane many years ago. I picked the wrong day to quit drinking. I picked the wrong day to quit smoking crack. You pick the wrong day because it's a bad day, and now this other energy is coming in, and it's weighted by the spirits and emotions of other people, and you get caught up in the motion of the entire collective in that physical space. And so when that happens, it's not that you can't think for yourself. It's that you have to be so solid in thinking for yourself as to have confidence in your safety and your ability to move the molecules around you so that you move that collective energy away from you. And that's a lot of confidence to have. A lot of people don't know they can do that they have the authority, that they have the power, that they've been given that entitlement if they will take it. So I want to read, what are the lessons of a disruptor? I always find, look at me, I'm segueing again. I always find that when you fully understand what people do and why they do it, even the worst people, even the most awful things, if you can understand a little deeper into why they're doing what they're doing, it allows you a space for forgiveness. And forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what they're doing. Forgiveness says, has nothing to do with me, and I choose not to participate in it. So forgiveness allows you a sense of detachment where you can love the person enough to hopefully allow that love to influence them to shift their movement. So a disruptor is a generic term for anyone or anything who causes a disturbance or problem. However, it also establishes an opportunity for comparison. This duality is the creator of awareness. It is the light revealed by contrast that illuminates both sides of anything. Once you can see opposing aspects, then you can bring into your awareness the multiple dimensions of cause, effect, purpose, and understanding. So, what is the karma for a disruptor? What becomes of the people or souls who incarnate onto the planet solely to indulge at the expense of others? That's so deep. There are people like that. They come in and that is what they're going to do for their lifetime. To be a disruptor teaches the illusion of power. Power in the beginning is exciting and inspires great kinetic energy, but for humans, constant motion is not sustainable. Add to the mix the spiritual, mental, and emotional dynamic of selfishness. Self-centeredness is generated by need and lacks the awareness, lacks any self-awareness. Many disruptors are insecure and selfish, ultimately with needs that are insatiable. Isn't that deep? Insecure people who can't get enough ever. That is not a good combination, people. So, what do you do? What do you do if you, uh, when you come across someone who seems to have an otherworldly influence to where they're at? What do you do? Well, you can do a couple of things. Understand that when somebody is under the influence of any other spiritual realm in a physical circumstance or situation, event, they're weakened because they are separated from the aspects of themselves that truly have the power. So when it's like they are disassociated. They've got their main personality alter, and then they've got the aspect of them that is being influenced by whatever the nature of their energy is. If they're angry, if they're grief ridden, if they are selfish, if they are power mongering, whatever the source of chaos that's being created, whatever the nature of what is propelling it, because there's a rational reason underneath that oftentimes when one attracts these other worldly energies that kind of connect and propel that person forward, and oftentimes if they are not present, which many times they're not, it moves them into making decisions that they can't reconcile. If they kill someone, they can't get them back. Right? If they say something, they can't take those words back. They have to now work through what they've created in order to move past it. So when someone is in that condition, that state of mind, they are easily or more easily influenced by the thoughts, ideas, and intentions of others. There is a psychic warfare, we call it. I always hate that. Psychic warfare. There's a tool that we use. Every person, when you are making a decision or you're taking an action and you're confident in it, you're rooted in it, you're grounded in it. What we do is that grounding cord is like a cord of energy, a cord of light that connects to the planet. And when someone is in a nefarious act, and if it's light threatening, you can literally visualize their root, their grounding cord, just pulling it right up out of the planet. Just pull it up. And that's not going to take away their ability to do what they want to do or intend to do, but what it does do is it makes them forget for a minute what they were doing. And it may be the difference between, life or death for someone. It could be the difference of you moving out of a bad situation into safety, or it could keep someone from doing harm to themselves or others. So when someone is grounded in an activity for whatever is propelling their belief system, and they mean harm, or in any situation, you can pull up that root and unground them just long enough to get them to sway or forget what they're doing, and then recalibrate and start over again. You shift their momentum, and that will slow them down for a period of time. Some people, it'll stop. I've been in dangerous situations where I've actually stopped a shooter from shooting. Not that I stopped him, but I shifted his energetic ability to be rooted in that activity, and he forgot what he was doing and then shook it off and moved on. So know that there are, this is a technique that you can use for yourself. Let's say you are an overeater, or you drink and drive. Let's say you do things that aren't really for your best interest and also have the opportunity to hurt other people. You can help yourself by pulling up the root of that intention, of that action, of that momentum. I mean, of course, you can't do it if you don't want to do it, duh. But it's a technique that you can use to help yourself begin to make the inroads of changing a long-standing pattern that might have other influences reinforcing it, whether or not those influences are people that you know, or spiritual energies or emotions or the collective emotion that you've gotten caught up in. So, no matter what your environment is, if you really want to stay safe and you really want to change and you really want to make a different reality for yourself, you can do it by choosing it. Not necessarily feeling it, but choosing it. So, that's what I have for you today. So thank you for tuning into Chatcast, and we will see you next week. Have a beautiful, beautiful holiday weekend, and we will see you soon. If anybody has questions, you're welcome to write them out, put them in the comments, and I will check them on YouTube and on Facebook. So have a terrific weekend.